Okay, hello and welcome to another video on the BeatBuddy Manager Online. First off, Facebook, you love it or loathe it. I use it. I don't tend to use any other social media platforms because they get on my nerves. And to be honest, I wouldn't use Facebook unless it was sort of connecting me with people and friends, etc. But anyway, it's another story. BeatBuddy Guitar Pedal User Group. Very handy resource. It's a public group. There's just under 11,000 members. I just want to give a big shout out. I posted the video that I did of the quick introduction on the BBMO into that group, and a couple of people have commented on it. But big special thank you to Graham Hillier for pointing me towards the. He said, "Have you seen this?" Which is the BBFF Rocks editor /new, and I hadn't. So going to that site, which is bbf.rocks /editor /, and I think it was the predecessor that some people still use, I believe. Like as I said, the BeatBuddy's been out for 10 years. So this was the official editor for your BeatBuddy pedal, as it says there. And it says about pricing, but it says now free at BeatBuddy Manager Online. So the Singular Sound have moved from the BeatBuddy BBFF to BBMO. We love acronyms, don't we? And there are a couple of videos down here, which I've not looked at, and I'm guessing they're probably for the previous, the BBFF editor for BeatBuddy. But they might have some handy stuff in it, so when I get time, I will watch it. There's some questions and answers down here. What I did want to point to was actually at the very, very bottom, you've got some free tools. Print your BeatBuddy library. So this is quite a handy one. So if I click on it, it says print your BeatBuddy library. So if I click on the select the folder, if you go to your folder where your BeatBuddy backup is, so mine is backup, and then upload, and it says, "Would you sure you want to do this 499 files?" And it says save it as a PDF. And what it basically does is it creates a PDF of every single drum set that is on or every single song. I call it drum sets, but I know drum sets is not technically right. Every single song, because each of these, like World 1 Tango, is a song, as it's called, which contains a drum pattern and a drum set and various fills and various patterns. But what it does do is it prints off actually your set list as well. So if there's anything you've added, which I have, obviously, so folder 26 is my set list currently, what I'm working on or what I'm happy with, and temporary one as well, which is Suspicious Minds Copy. I'm struggling to say that still this morning. Suspicious Minds Copy, which is the one I'm working on in the video series at the moment. So that's quite handy to have. There's also a mobile app. I've not looked at that yet, so but I will do. So it says the missing app for your BeatBuddy. Now, you will have to have a Bluetooth connector, and there is a way of getting a Bluetooth output on your BeatBuddy directly using a MIDI cable. You do need a couple of cables, but it does explain here how to do it, and also the app, and then it basically says that you can have all your settings and everything on the app on your phone. Again, I've not looked at it, so if I go back on that, so that's one thing. And export your BeatBuddy library information. So that basically exhales. The first one did it as a PDF file so that you can print it off or keep it, and the other one does it as an Excel file, which again, it could be quite handy to have. So certainly for the ones that like having things like that, which is like me. So very quickly, so BeatBuddy Manager Online again. So I'm going to open project, backup, which is where I do, as I said previously, I keep all my files. It says edit files, yes. And I just wanted to show you this. So let me bring it up on here a second. Where is it? Screenshot. Right. You have let me full screen that. You have a virtual pedal. And I wasn't even aware of this until yesterday. So you can actually play the whole song in the BBMO program. As you adjust things, you can actually play it live. And this has got all the settings on it. So it says, and you can now audition full songs using a virtual pedal and foot switch. Left foot switch plays the accent, right foot switch plays. So if you basically click on that in the app, it'll play the accent. If you click on that one, it'll pause and pause the song. And then there's keyboard shortcuts. But the main pedal actually works as the main pedal is set up. So basically, single tap will play the intro and then go into part one. If you tap it once, it plays any fills, and it'll play them in sequence. So if there's 2 fills, it'll play the first fill, then the second fill, then it'll go back to playing the first fill. If you press and hold it for, I think it's more than one or 2 seconds, it will then go into the transition to the next part of the song. So without further ado, let's have a quick look at what I did yesterday. So let's bring up Suspicious Minds on our temporary folder. So I'll open that, Suspicious Minds copy. There it is. Let's drag this down. So we've got intro, part 1, part 2, and outro at this moment in time. So going to the pedal up here on the top left. Now, if I press, it plays the intro. And then it goes into part 1. And it'll just keep going. So now let's see what the fills sound like. So we've got here, you've got... sorry, let me just bring that down because for some reason when it goes onto screen there's a quirk on this. So there's the oldies fill 7 is the first fill. So let's just see what that sounds like. There you go. Second fill is oldies fill 11 snare plus. Let's see what that sounds like. There you go. What's the next one? Oldies fill 18 full kit sync plus, it says. So let's see what that sounds like. There you go. So there's the 3 fills. So there's slight different variations. And you can reorder those if you want, just drag and drop into the, move them around if you want to. If I press and hold it, it's going to transition then, so it'll now play the transition that's highlighted on the screen to transition into part 2. Oh, sorry, I pressed the wrong one, that was a fill. Right, let's go back. There you go. So this is part 2 it's playing now. So let's see what the fills sound like on part 2, because the fills again are different. That's that fill, 22 full kit. Oldies fill 28 full kit. Again. Oldies fill 33 full kit simple 4 beats. There you go. So the transition, and what it'll do now is transition back to part 1. I'll press and hold it. There you go, back to part 1. If we want the outro, double click. How cool's that? I think that's really good. And I wish I'd known about it before. So it's so annoying. Because, if you want to listen to, let's say blues, right? So let's pick a blues 5, 6, 8 shuffle. I want to hear what this sounds like if I was going to play it on the pedal. So straight away, I go up to the main pedal, I press it once, and it's going to play the intro. And then into part 1. Nice, slow, ready beat. In fact, let's change the standard to rock. There you go. Let's change the tempo. So 84 is the default. Let's bring it up, double it. And you can listen to it straight away. It's amazing. What's the first fill sound like? Let's go back to, what was it, 84, wasn't it? There you go. So what's the second fill like? Was it a basic 6, 8, fill, 67, half bar 8? Sounds a mouthful, isn't it? Okay. What does the accent sound like? And you can press that. I'm pressing on the left foot switch pedal as it would be defaulted. Again, bearing in mind that you can edit this on the BeatBuddy pedal itself. You can edit the foot switches and make them pretty much do whatever you want, and you can edit them so that you have, whilst the BeatBuddy is playing, it does something, and then whilst it's not playing, it can do something else, which is quite good as well. So there's the accent. Pause and unpause is the right hand one, so let's pause it. There you go, and it shows it's paused on the screen. It actually shows the screen as it does on the BeatBuddy as well, which is really good. Unpause it. What's a couple of other notes here? Right, so we've played part 1, and let's just unpause it a second. Let's just, where are we on the fills? Right, that's fill 3, okay? So now if I do fill 1, so the next fill it will play will be fill 2. But if I now transition to part 2, it defaults back and it'll play if I then go to play a fill, it'll play the first fill. So it won't go from fill 2 on part 1 to fill 2 on part 2. I hope that makes sense. So I've just played fill 2 of 3. So the next fill it would play on part 1 would be 3 if I just press the pedal once. If I press and hold it to transition to part 2, we'll see what happens with the fills. So that's the transition. And now if I press the fill, it will go back to playing the first fill. And then it sequences through. So fill 2 now will be the blues fill 54/6/8 snare. If I press and hold it and go back to part 1, there we go. That's the transition back to part 1. And if I press the fill now, it doesn't then go from fill 2 to 3. It goes back to fill 1 to 3. So that's just something to bear in mind. If you want a bit more variation, let me just pause it. If you want a bit more variation in your song, what you can do is actually copy part 1, make it part 3, and just change the fills around. Or put in different fills, and it just gives it a little bit more dynamic. So that's just something else to bear in mind. So I'm not going to go on to Suspicious Minds. I just wanted to show you this virtual drum set to start off with. Let's just play the outro on this one. But it's amazing because, you know, I mean, I can pick any of these. Let's do a 3/4 shuffle on brushes and see what it sounds like. Completely different sound. But it's fantastic that you can change the drum set. So let's make the brushes metal. That's a metal drum set on a brushes. Let's speed it up. I mean, it's bonkers. Press the undo button and it'll go back to what it was like. Back to brushes. Let's see what the fill sounds like. Transition. Stop it. Amazing, isn't it? That's really, really, really good. I mean, I really like that. I think that's, yeah, what a feature. What a feature. I think it's fantastic. Reggae. Let's have a look at reggae. What's the basic one drop? Let's see what this sounds like. Okay. Fill. Second fill. Third fill. It's quite funky, isn't it? Transition. And this is part 2 playing now, so part 2 fill. Okay, double tap it to outro. And yeah, so you can basically run through any of these, have a listen to them in real time using this virtual editor, which is really, really good. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. In the next video, I'll go through Suspicious Minds and copy the rest of the parts of the song and reorder the fills, etc. And run you through that. So bear with me.